Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Daniela and today we will make this nice flat bead crochet bracelet together. If you have no experience with bead crochet or crochet at all, I recommend you to take a look at my previous tutorials on my channel. You will find there step-by-step instructions how to bead crochet using both main techniques, slip stitch bead crochet and single bead crochet. This bracelet we will make using a single bead crochet technique. Of course, I will explain single bead crochet again in this tutorial, but maybe I will not explain it so much in detail as I did in previous tutorials, but I think it will be also very clear and understandable. And what about time we need to finish the bracelet? It's very individual, it depends on your skills, but count about 2 hours. Of course, if you crochet for the first time and have no experience with bead crochet or crochet at all, it may happen that you may be struggling with first 2 rows. They are probably the most sneaky, but after a few rows it will start to be clear and it will go easy. After I will make this tutorial, I will put this bracelet for sale, so check the link in the description if you want to buy it. So now let's go straight into the list of material and products we need to make this bracelet. I prepare a bead mat. It's optional, but it's easier to pick up seed beads from bead mat than from the table. They won't roll so much and stay in place. I use a piece of microfleece instead of classic bead mat. I talk about it in my previous videos. I like the range of colors in which they are made and they work the same as a classic bead mat. I have prepared this pattern for you and we will string the beads according it. If you want to download this pattern, you can find the link in the description below. But you will see the pattern on the screen while we will be stringing the beads. Next, we prepare 3 colors of seed beads. I'm going to use size 10 Czech Preciusa seed beads in green, gray and pink. Of course, you can use the size and color of the seed beads that you want. Just remember that if you choose a different size of seed beads, you need to change also a size of the hook and size of the metal ribbon end, which I will talk about it in a while. However, in terms of quality, I recommend to use at least Czech Preciusa seed beads or even more precise Japanese seed beads like Toho, Miyuki and so on. Because if you use some no-name Chinese seed beads, they are so irregular and the bead crochet row wouldn't look good and crocheting would be very difficult. So, next we need a pearl cotton yarn. This is Czech product called Cordonet, size 50. It has 20 grams and 227 meters. It's better to choose the color of the yarn similar to the color of the beads because you will barely see the yarn between the beads. But for this tutorial I have chosen more contrasting color of the yarn for you to see the loops better. Also we need a big eye needle and scissors. If you don't have a big eye needle, take normal beading needle and thread. I will show you how to replace a big eye needle. Next we need a crochet hook. I'm going to use a tulip of size 16 which has 0.8 millimeters. It's quite small, but it's comfortable for me. But if you want to crochet with some bigger crochet hook, don't hesitate to use it. We will also use split ring tweezers, knotting tweezers or some normal tweezers, nylon jaw flat nose pliers, round nose pliers and chain nose pliers. Next we need 2 ribbon ends 1.5 centimeters wide, 2 split rings 5 millimeters, or just jump rings, depends on what do you prefer. Split rings are more difficult to work with, but they are more secure than normal jump rings. And an extender chain, and lobster clasp 13 millimeters, and finally double-sided adhesive tape. First of all, we string beads according to this pattern. We open the big eye needle and put the yarn inside. If you don't have a big eye needle, take normal beading needle and cut a piece of thin thread, for example Nemo, Put the thread inside the eye of the needle and make a knot. And put the yarn through the loop we have made, and it will work the same as big eye needle. So we start to string beads. 2 green beads, 3 gray beads, 6 pink beads, 3 gray beads, and 2 green beads. These 16 beads will make one row. Next rows are the same again. 2 green beads, 3 gray beads, 6 pink beads, 3 gray beads, and 2 green beads. These beads will make the second row, and we will continue to stringing the beads until we have the required length for a bracelet. The length of the bead string is calculated by multiplying the number of beads in one row by the length of the finished bracelet. So if there are 16 beads in one row and we want to make 7.5 inches long bracelet, the required length of the bead string is 16 times 7.5 inches, that is 120 inches. There are always some beads left, so you don't need to string more beads. Now the bead string is 120 inches long, and we can start crochet. We leave a tail long enough, about 3 or 4 inches is okay. And now we make a slip knot. I do it this way. I bring the thread around my index finger, grab between my middle finger and thumb, put a crochet hook inside, grab again, yarn over and pull through one loop, and again, and tight. This is a slip knot. Now we make a chain stitch without beads, and the second row we also make without beads. These 2 rows will then serve for attaching the metal ribbon end. So we make first 16 chain stitches. Yarn over, pull through the loop, and again yarn over, pull through, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and finally we add one more. We won't connect this chain to the ring yet, and we will continue with the next row backwards. So we put the hook to the first loop, yarn over, pull through one loop, yarn over and pull through both loops, and again to the second loop, yarn over, pull through one loop, yarn over and pull through both loops, and again to the third loop, yarn over, pull through one loop, yarn over, pull through both loops, and continue with the rest 13 stitches. So we have 16 loops at total. So we made the second row without beads, and now we need to connect the chain to the ring. We don't want the end without beads to be so long, so we can comfortably hide it into the ribbon end. So we prepare first 16 beads, which will create the first row with beads. We put the hook into the first loop of this row, right into the loop under 2 yarns. We slide the first bead, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over and pull through both loops. The principle is exactly the same as we were crocheting without beads. And again to the next loop under 2 threads, slide a bead, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over again and pull through both loops. And again to the next loop under 2 threads, slide a bead, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over and pull through both loops. We will continue the same way with the rest of these beads to make the first row with beads. The first few rows are always so clumsy, but approximately from the 5th row it will fit nicely and it will start to look better. The first row with beads is finished and we slide another 16 beads, which will make the second row with beads. We put the hook into the loop of the first bead we have added, right to the loop under 2 yarns. Then we slide a bead, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over and pull through both loops. Again to the next loop, slide a bead, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over and pull through both loops. We will do all the rows in the same way and we will check if that the color of the bead we put the hook in is the same as the color of the bead we just slide down. I have chosen this type of pattern because of this rule that the colors of the beads are the same, so we can check if we crochet correctly. If you are beginners in bead crochet, it often happens that you skip a loop or stitch 2 beads into 1 loop and you make a mistake in the pattern for that reason. Eventually you can end up with a totally different number of beads in 1 row than you started with. So for beginners, these spiral patterns are the best. After you get a little more practice, it won't be a problem for you to follow the pattern correctly, even if you choose a very difficult pattern or just bead crochet rope of 1 color, which can also be quite tricky. So we put the hook in the loop of a gray bead and we also slide a gray bead and we finish the rest of this row. Now we have the second row with beads. It looks like this, and now we prepare another 16 beads and we will continue the same way. We will make approximately 9 rows with beads. Now we have 9 rows and we fix the flat shape of the bead crochet rope. The double-sided adhesive tape will serve well for this purpose. So we cut a small piece, take it with tweezers, put inside a crochet rope and press the rope together. Now we can continue to crochet. We make a few other rows and then we add a piece of tape again. And we will continue this way until we reach the length of the bracelet we want. We cut a piece of tape again. Put it inside the rope and press it. Now we have the length we want to make a bracelet, and the last row we make without beads again, because we need to have an end without beads to secure the ribbon end. And you can see that some beads left. So, to loop, yarn over, pull through one loop, yarn over and pull through both loops. To the loop, yarn over, pull through one loop, yarn over and pull through both loops. Now we cut the yarn and make a knot. Now we take a big eye needle and sew the tails into the rope. So we put the yarn inside the eye of the needle. Make a knot. Sew again and cut the thread. We will do the same also with the other tail. We put the yarn inside the eye of the needle. Make a knot. Sew again and we cut the thread. Now take the ribbon end and put it on the end of the crochet rope, just to the end without beads, and flatten it with nylon pliers. I use these nylon pliers to avoid scratches. And do the same with the other end of the bead crochet rope. Now take a split ring, open it with split ring tweezers. If you don't have split ring tweezers, you can even use pin or some thick needle to open it. Insert the extender chain. I do it with pliers because I can grab the eye of the chain with them more tightly than if I just took it between my fingers, and it just makes it more comfortable. Now open the split ring again and put it into the eye of the ribbon end. The work with split rings is harder than with jump rings, but they are stronger. So one side is finished, and now we finish also the other side, but instead of extended chain we use a lobster clasp. Open the split ring again. Open again and put it into the eye of the ribbon end. So the bracelet is completely finished. I hope that you liked this tutorial and that it was clear and understandable. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I will be happy to help you. So thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe. You can look forward to next videos, not only about bead crochet. Have a nice day and bye!